The Philadelphia 76ers outlasted the Cavaliers last night. The Cavs coach Bickerstaff has some things to say about Joel Embiid shooting free throws, made himself sound stupid. James Harden struggled, but, led us down the stretch. I'm going to talk about all of that right now on Run It Back Philly.
Welcome to Run It Back Philly. DJ Eastwood doesn't need your mother***ing intro.
What is up, my people? Run It Back Nation. What's going on with you? I hope you're having a great day. We're going to do one of these old school, the day after game recaps, because Sundays are just weird for me sometimes. 6 o'clock Sunday game is tough. I was asleep for the first half. I'm not going to lie to you. But here I am now. You know what I mean? This episode is brought to you by Manscaped.com, of course. Get the Lawnmower 4.0. Use the promo code NOINTRO for 20% off and free shipping. Your balls will thank you. Men's grooming, man. Why is it taking this long? Why has it been so many years for a company to finally say, you know what? Let's make male grooming products. That's why Manscaped is where it's at right now, because it was a genius idea. And the products they have on there are amazing. So take care of yourself. Prepare for battle. Don't show up to the Indy 500 in a bucket. Go to manscaped.com. Use the promo code NOINTRO for 20% off and free shipping. Let's go. The Philadelphia 76ers outlast the Cavaliers 112-108 last night. And the first thing, I'm going to get right to it, okay? Bickerstaff, the Cavaliers head coach, in his press conference, had some interesting things to say. And this whole new narrative that's going on now is blowing my freaking mind, because I would expect random dorks on Twitter to say things like this. I would expect random people that look at a box score that didn't watch the game, that just want to hate on a player or a team, to say things like this. But NBA coaches saying things like this makes no sense. First, Ty Lue talking about if you take their free throws away, they wouldn't be top 10 in scoring. And now you got Bickerstaff saying this. Okay, so here's what he said. Listen. He said, we did a great job defensively tonight, but one thing you can't defend is the free throw line. All right, Joel Embiid shot 20 free throws. He was 17 for 20, okay? If you take away those 17 points, he still had 26 and 17 rebounds. But the reason he shot 20 free throws is because Lauri Markkanen can't stop him. Lauri Markkanen fouled out of the game in the fourth quarter. You got Lauri Markkanen and Moses Brown. You're going to sit here and tell me we did a great job defensively. Joel Embiid dropped 44 points, 17 rebounds, 3 assists, and 5 blocks. I wouldn't say he did a great job defensively. You tried hard, but those players cannot stop him. He's too big, too strong, has way too much skill, especially around the rim. Why are NBA coaches saying this? You can't defend the free throw line. No, you can't defend Joel Embiid. That's why he's at the free throw line. This is not rocket science. Now I got people on Twitter from other fan bases coming at me. So many stupid tweets I saw yesterday talking about if you took their free throws away, would they be able to do this? Let me put this as simple as I possibly can for you numbskulls that aren't watching the game. Just go watch the fourth quarter highlights of this game if you don't understand it. Joel Embiid's catching the ball under the rim almost every single play in crunch time because we're spamming the James Harden, Joel Embiid pick and roll. It's becoming absolutely unstoppable. Joel Embiid's catching the ball under the rim, getting fouled because you can't stop him from scoring. If you take away his free throws, you took away the foul, and he finished at the rim. So take away his free throws, he still scores the points because you didn't foul him because he was under the rim. Because what? That's all I'm going to say about it. It makes absolutely no sense. I mean, you're fouling the guy because you can't stop him and putting him at the free throw line. If you don't foul him, he's going to score. Nobody's randomly handing people free throws. The NBA officials didn't come together in a circle and say, hey, guys, who should we make the king of free throws in the NBA? I vote Joel Embiid. Let's do that. So when we go out here, we're going to hand him a bunch of free throws so he has more free throws than everybody. Or is he just getting fouled because they can't stop him? Now, which one makes more sense? Which one makes more sense? Again, normal dorks on Twitter, I would expect this from. NBA coaches, it's blowing my mind. Had to get that ran out. Just had to get that ran out. All right, so the Sixers survived the Cavs. My main takeaways are the Cavs have a top 5 defense. The Sixers struggled early and still pulled out the W, so anybody that was on the Facebook groups or wherever else crying in the first half, first of all, you guys should wait till the game's over before you start posting things on Facebook, okay, because you look stupid when you're talking about maybe a turnover in the second quarter and then we win the game. We got 21 bench points in this game. That's massive. Again, that's probably the X factor for this team going deep into the playoffs. Can the bench show up? Can we survive those 10, 12, 14 minutes where Joel Embiid's not on the floor or James Harden's not on the floor, et cetera, et cetera? So 21 bench points is huge. James Harden was a veteran point guard in crunch time once again. And Embiid is absolutely dominant. The Cavaliers are a fun team to watch. And, you know, the Cavaliers are not the Cavaliers of old. They're not the tanking Cavaliers. They have a ton of young talent. Darius Garland's an amazing young point guard. They have a bunch of athleticism. They have a bunch of depth, especially when it comes to scoring, like Karis LeVert, Lauri Markkanen, Darius Garland running the point. Then you got Kevin Love coming in the game. You got veteran leadership. They got Moses Brown, who, by the way, it looks like he's 7'5". Just young, super athletic, long, tall as hell. I got a question for you guys, though. When I look at somebody like Moses Brown, how many minutes would Moses Brown play under a Doc Rivers-led basketball team? That's what I want to ask you guys. Answer in the comments. How many minutes? If Moses Brown was employed by the Philadelphia 76ers, how many minutes would he play on an NBA court? This is my point, because when I watch teams like this Cavs team or any other team that seems like they just have a ton of young athletes, I don't think it's because their upper management found a bunch of young athletes and signed them, and the Sixers' upper management can't find any. It's that the Sixers coach refuses to give anybody a chance. Moses Brown would have 0 points, and he would have 0 minutes in the NBA. Charles Bassey a couple days ago in the G League. Yes, I'm going to bring up Charles Bassey again. I'm going to keep clamoring for this guy until he gets NBA minutes and shows everyone what I've been talking about. This dude is a beast. This dude is an NBA player playing against G Leaguers right now. He put up 37 points and 21 rebounds the other day in 31 minutes. He should not be in the G League. It's ridiculous. You got guys named Moses Brown out here getting NBA minutes, and Charles Bassey can't get any because DeAndre Jordan and Paul Millsap are Doc Rivers' best friends. I don't know. But I just wanted to say that when I see somebody like Moses Brown or any other younger players on the court making things happen, it makes me mad because why can't we give our young guys a couple of minutes to see if they can do something? I want to see Charles Bassey out there, man. We're not going to see it under Doc Rivers. But speaking of Doc Rivers, this is 2 games in a row now where I saw a lot more creativity on the offensive side of the ball, okay? It's not hard to draw up a game plan with these athletes on the floor. With this level of skill on the floor, it's not hard to draw up a game plan. Okay, here's the game plan. I'm going to break it down for you. I'm going to draw up my own game plan right now if I was a 76ers head coach. A, James Harden, Joel Embiid, pick and roll. Over and over and over and over and over again. Spam it until they stop. Just run it until they stop it. Well, they can't stop it. Just keep running it. That's game plan number 1. Game plan number 2 is if a team does defend it pretty well, and it's looking like they're struggling getting Embiid rolling into the lane or James doing his thing up top, have other things happening on the court. Have Tyrese Maxey coming from the other side. Have Tobias Harris coming around screens here. Have Matisse Thybulle cutting under the basket as Joel Embiid rolls, and James Harden looks at Embiid and drops it under. Action, movement. That's what I've seen now in 2 straight games after the loss to the Detroit Pistons, where there was no action and no movement. And that tells me this. Conspiracy theory. Doc Rivers is no longer in charge of this team. They were showing Dan Burke on the bench on the TV broadcast several times. He was more vocal and active from the bench than Doc Rivers was. What I'm saying is, after that Detroit loss, it's quite possible that upper management, Daryl Morey and everyone else, had a little bit of a round table meeting and said, all right, look, this ain't working here. What just happened in this Detroit game is not working. So now we're going to take game plans from the rest of your coaching staff because your game plan sucked. It's no coincidence to me that we saw a different offensive just philosophy, motion, ball sharing, action going on after that Detroit game. That's all I'm saying. I think Doc Rivers has one foot out the door. I really do. And I'm not mad about it at all. Get him the hell out of here, okay? But yeah, the Cavs are a fun team to watch. You know, a lot of young talent, depth. I think they're going to win a playoff series. I'm going to make that prediction right now. I think the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to win a playoff series. They're going to upset somebody in round 1. And you can come back to this video and tell me I was right when it happens. We had a slow start. We still came out with the W. We were down by 11 in the second quarter. This is a game that looked like, uh-oh. You know what I mean? Uh-oh. We're getting outrun by younger players. We're getting out-rebounded. We're getting out-hustled. Uh-oh. But we got it together, and we pulled it out in the end. And the main reason we pulled it out in the end is because we have a veteran point guard in charge. Obviously, Joel Embiid's dominant. But what we didn't have last season and the whole first half of this season was a player who can have the ball in his hands in crunch time, control the game, slow down the game, and make big possessions matter. Every single big possession down the end of this game was run by James Harden, running the pick and roll with Joel Embiid, and just making the defense pick your poison and making the right decision. Drop it off to Joel, one-on-one under the basket. Joel pops behind the back to Joel for 3. James Harden was controlling this game the entire fourth quarter in the pick and roll, and they ran it over and over and over and over again. When we lost to Detroit and some of the other bad losses we've had, we're sitting around saying, where's the pick and roll? Where's the 2-man game? Why are we not using our best 2 players to win this game? Now suddenly, 2 games in a row, we're spamming the pick and roll because it's unstoppable. These 2 guys together, and now they're building chemistry as they play together more and more and more. This is unstoppable. So James Harden, Joel Embiid, 2-man game, pick and roll in the fourth quarter. We just spammed it. We just ran it over and over and over. They couldn't stop it. It just kept ending up with Joel Embiid under the basket, one-on-one, either a bucket or a foul or an and one, and we took it home. And you know, James Harden struggled again shooting. Harden was 4 for 13 from the field, 2 for 7 from 3. Got 12 free throws. He was 11 for 12 from the free throw line. But this is what I want to say about James Harden, because, you know, you can't say we lost the trade or we shouldn't have done this, we shouldn't have done that. We had a player that was not playing. And even if Ben was playing, this level, this version of James Harden, the B or C version of James Harden, is miles better than what we were getting from that other guy. And to have a veteran point guard who can facilitate from the top of the key, you guys remember my old videos. This is all I've ever wanted for Joel Embiid. I've been screaming it for 3 years. This guy needs a point guard. Give him a point guard, and it's over. You gave him a point guard. Now you're not getting, this isn't the 60-point triple-double James Harden. But I think as he gets more into his mid-30s, later in his career, he can just kind of be that Chris Paul style point guard. Control the game. Make the right decisions. Slow down the game. Pull out the win in the fourth quarter. Open up the court. Put Joel Embiid in the right positions. Get him one-on-one matchups. I mean, Embiid was dropping almost 30 a game by himself before James Harden. Now he's getting so many easy looks because of James Harden. So you don't have to get 60-point triple-doubles from James Harden. Just his basketball IQ alone and the way he handles the ball and the way he passes out of the pick and roll or the pick and pop with Joel Embiid is so much more valuable than what we had before that trade went down. So that's what I want to say about James Harden. A ton of Embiid's points down the stretch came from James Harden getting him easy looks. And we were up by 1 with 1 minute left, and Harden drives and hits a clutch floater. So, he shot terribly the entire game, but still came up in the clutch. Joel Embiid took over the second half of the game, hitting threes with the shot clock running down. I mean, the announcers are sitting here saying, oh, my. Like, Embiid, he's got to fire. He's got to let it go. Oh, he hit another one. Like, Joel Embiid's incredible. And having James Harden handle the ball at the top of the key has just elevated his game even more. It didn't even really look like he was having an amazing game. And he dropped 44 points and 17 rebounds and 5 blocks. Incredible game from Joel Embiid. Let's move on to the bench. Danny Green, 1 for 2 in 17 minutes. George Niang stepped up a little bit. Again, I think he's our main guy off the bench. It's what we're going to go with. I also think Shake Milton's going to be a playoff piece because you need that third ball handler behind Harden and Maxey. And Shake gave you 15 minutes, 4 points. You got a little bit of production off the bench. DeAndre Jordan in 10 minutes had 6 points and 4 rebounds. And I'm pretty sure all 6 points of his came from alley-oop lobs. So DeAndre Jordan was doing his thing here. I still believe that Paul Reed or Charles Bassey would produce more. They just flat out would produce more. There's nothing that DeAndre Jordan's really doing that those guys can't do. But at the same time, if Doc's going to go with him, it would be nice to be able to get this version of DeAndre Jordan. Than some of the other versions we've been seeing. So DeAndre Jordan was revived a little bit in this game. We'll have to see when the playoffs start if he can continue that level of play with the backup center minutes. Tobias Harris was awful in this game, 4 for 14, 0 for 5 from 3, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Not a good Tobias Harris game. Finished with 11. But at the same time, man, look, we had guys that struggled. Harden was 4 for 13. Maxey was 4 for 11. Tobias Harris was 4 for 14. And we still won the game against a team that was surging. They're 43 and 36. They're not a terrible team anymore. The fact that we came away with this W is huge. And I think it was the coaching staff's plan, and I think Doc Rivers has 1 foot out the door. That's what I think. Give me all your thoughts and opinions in the comments. My name is DJ Eastwood. This is Run It Back Philly. No frauds, no fanboys, no intros. Don't forget manscaped.com. Promo code NOINTRO for free shipping and 20% off. Great win for the Sixers, man. Great win. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.